Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I initially wanted to record this video high because it's like, hi, story times. So I was gonna save this video for later, but then I was like, fuck. In my past two videos, I keep on saying I'm gonna post story times, but these aren't fucking story times that I've been posting. And I don't really have any other ones I can tell at the moment. So right now I have COVID. And I can't smoke because, actually, I don't know, because I went on Reddit. No, first of all, I went on Google and I was like, can you smoke weed while having COVID? If you can't tell, I'm pretty asymptomatic. My only symptom, the only reason I know I had COVID or like even got tested was because I can't smell. I got back from the gym and like I just got my shower and I was about to put on my deodorant and I was like smell, I always smell the deodorant beforehand because I'm a weirdo. So I went to go smell it and I was like, went on Google and I was like, Google, can you smoke weed whenever you have COVID? And it was giving me no straight up answer. Like all the articles were just talking about how if you smoke weed, you're more likely to get COVID. So then I like went on those articles and I'm like, just out of curiosity, like what are these bitches trying to whip up? And then these articles have the audacity to be like, you're more likely to get COVID, like because of the process of buying weed and like smoking with others. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, why is no one giving me a straight up answer? This thing has been out for a year now. Like, where are the scientists? Like, hello, is this shit bad or not? So then, if Google doesn't work, your second best bet will always be Reddit. So I went on Reddit and I was like, under r-trees, I was like, yo, have any of you had COVID? And if you did you smoke during it? Is that bad? And you know me with my big fucking mouth always saying too much. I also mentioned like at the time, because I wasn't sure if I had COVID, it was just like the fact like right after I realized I couldn't smell, that was the first thing I did. I didn't go to a doctor. I didn't go to shit. I went on the Reddit and I was like, I can't smell, so I'm pretty sure I have COVID. And my main concern is, can I smoke throughout quarantine? And all of them were just telling me to go get tested rather than telling me if smoking is okay or not, which I did get tested, but fuck you guys. Like I wanted an answer. And since I still couldn't find an answer, I asked my doctor. My doctor has an app because he's like fancy or whatever. And I sent him a message on Friday and I was like, am I good to smoke weed? And as you know, doctor's offices usually are not open on Fridays or Saturdays or Sundays. So he didn't answer me. And it's Monday now and he still hasn't answered me. So I don't know what the fuck to do. So today I'm going to be telling you some high story times. I think I'm only going to tell 2 of the 6 I have written down because whenever I was telling them, it took up like a lot of time and I don't want this video to be too long because, the longer the video, the less views it gets because the attention span is just going down so dramatically. Like TikTok is ruining you people. Like for real, like you guys are just like, I need 15 seconds and it's time to move on. All right, so the first story I'm going to tell is going to be the story of how my tolerance got destroyed. Actually, before I get any further, don't forget to subscribe and turn my notifications on. Follow me on all social media, links down below. Subscribe to my OnlyFans, that's also down below now. So there's a time in everyone's life where their tolerance is just, really small. You can get like high off 2 hits of a blunt. And then you feel insecure about that, because like people are like, haha, you can only smoke this much or whatever. But in reality, those people are jealous of you. They want to be you. Because who doesn't want to get high off 2 hits of a blunt? Like, I remember back in the good old days, we'd buy a gram of weed, and it used to last us like a full 24 hours. Sometimes 48 hours. And now I buy a quarter pound every, like, 2 weeks. I mean, I guess I smoke it with like 2 to 3 people, but still, that's like pretty fucking bad. And like in a year down the line, it's probably going to be so much worse than that. However, I am on this like temporary tolerance break because of COVID, so maybe that'll fix it. So this is like 2 years ago, whenever my not 2 years ago, I have no concept of time. This is like fucking 4 years ago now. Maybe 5. My tolerance was really bad. Like you guys heard me in all my other videos. I was like, there was a time period where every time I would smoke a blunt with like 4 people, like 1 blunt per 4 people, I would throw up every time. So I had a different squad like 5 years. Actually, that's a lie. I have a different squad like every year. And I'm starting to think maybe I am the problem. The one girl got a boyfriend, so she was spending her days, in his basement, watching him play video games, complaining about him to us. This guy lived far away from us, all right? He was like 45 minutes away, and like I said, he doesn't have a car. He didn't have a license, because at the time, he was saying he just couldn't drive because he didn't have a license for some shit, but he was lying the whole time. He actually had his license suspended, like he couldn't get a license legally. I can't remember why, but like it had to do with Xanax or something. But yeah, this girl was like, listen, he has some really good weed. You guys want to come over here and smoke and then take me back home. Whenever I say good weed, I mean, I'm from like the suburbs outside of Pittsburgh, all right? So like the weed here is not good. Like, there is good weed. It's just like you have to be in the game to find that shit, right? whenever you first start buying weed, you get that stuff that looks like seasoning you would use for chicken, you know? Whenever she's saying he has good weed, I'm talking he had weed from the dispensary, like weed I never smoked before. Like I didn't know there was weed like this. So we go over to his house, which by the way, this is the best part, is seeing his house, because this guy had a bit of a persona, right? Like an NBA young boy type of persona, if you know what I mean. So like you would have thought we're going to like some shitty trap house, like some garbage place like this place, you know? Like I remember like back in the day, everyone would go in my comments and they're like, I can see part of your door's missing, or like there's a chip in your wall. Like people always were like coming at me for being poor, but like you guys all want to be poor. So we get to his house and I remember looking at it and my jaw was like, why is this guy rich as fuck? We get inside of the house and there was like 6 purebred bulldogs. I was like, I know those things costed more than it cost to like hire a hitman on someone. And he had a base, like, listen, my basement is not like his basement or like other people's basements. Like people have basements with like carpet in them and like a whole room down there, like a bed, like TVs and shit. You wanna know what my basement looks like? There's a coal cellar. Do you know how old that shit has to be? Like for a coal cellar, like you could go inside of the little duct. I don't know where it leads to, but I'm gonna assume it leads to some coal mine from the ancient past. That's what my basement looks like. You can't walk in my basement without shoes. Just shut up, Kyler. But anyways, we go to this dude's basement and he's like, all right, let's smoke. So he packs this bong filled with weed. And I remember just looking at the weed he was grinding and I was like, damn, that shit looks good. And you could actually smell it from like a distance, you know? Like, so I go to hit the bong and I just remember instantly regretting taking that big of a hit. Cause like, I wasn't expecting it to be that good of weed, you know? I was expecting it to be shit I was used to. Did you ever hit something and then you felt your face turn blue within seconds of hitting it? And in my stoner pet peeves video, I remember I was like, one of my pet peeves is whenever you hit something and like, usually you're high instantly, but like this shit just kept on coming harder and harder. So like, I remember I hit it, instantly turned blue, was instantly too high already. I sit down on his bed and I was like, you know what? You're done. Like I remember like after the rotation, it came back to me and I was like, fuck you. I'm good. I remember like at one point I just tried to lay back and you know how those spins work. Like it just felt like I was doing backflips in my head. So I was like, oh, okay, so we're gonna flip the other way, try laying down face first. So I remember I just looked up and I was like, hey, I don't mean to concern anyone, but I'm about to yak everywhere. Where the hell is the bathroom? And I didn't know you could get this high. My vision was almost gray, like almost distorted a little bit, you know, like it didn't like seem right. Like, you know, like those movies where someone's too drunk and they're like walking around, the TV looks like that. It was that. It was like the fucking goggle simulation. So I'm just standing above the toilet, hovering it, going like this. And I remember they were like, do you want to like get down, you know? Cause like, I mean, hypothetically speaking, if I did throw up, I would have puked like not on the toilet, but I was like, no, I can't do it right now. I remember his mom came in the bathroom. She brought fucking orange juice. She was like, this should help, honey. And I was like, first of all, why is your mom in here? Like, I mean, I guess I'm grateful, but like, why is she assisting? Adults make me uncomfortable, you know? I drank the orange juice and I'm still sitting at the toilet and I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but like, I guess I'm not gonna throw up. You leave the bathroom. And by the way, we weren't supposed to stay there long. Like, as I was saying earlier, we were only going to smoke and then dip, bring the bitch back home. We ended up staying for 2 hours because for 2 hours, I was too fucking high. We got in the car and I remember her boyfriend was apologizing to the driver. She's like, I am so sorry. Like, I had no idea it would be like that. I literally took one hit of the bong. Like, that's all it took to like ruin me. And then I remember on the car ride home, it started pouring rain. And I'm a tweaker with weather, like ever since I was a child. I think it's because like I used to watch the news as a kid and I would see all those tornadoes happening in the Midwest. So like I instantly gained a fear of tornadoes. Like I used to have fucking nightmares about tornadoes, and tornadoes don't even really happen where I live. I mean, there's been one in my entire lifetime that I've known of, and probably like 2 in the past 30 years that happened in this area. But yeah, so like the rain was just making me really tweak, and I remember I couldn't see through the windshield, and you can't see like the lines on the road, and I was like, how the fuck are you even driving right now? But after that tweak episode, I went home. The next day it was time to smoke again, and I was like, interesting. I am not high from one hit. What the hell is going on? And then that's whenever it hit me that bitch's weed, I mean, that bitch's boyfriend's weed fucked up my tolerance. Like from that point forward, I never threw up from weed ever again. So I thank you for that, I guess. But I, to this day, never thrown up from weed again, never had issues smoking. I've never even gotten like the spins from smoking since then.